Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Listen, I'm about to drop some real, or actually a real jewel for you. But I need about 5 or 10 minutes of your time to help you better your relationship with that special someone in your life. So if you don't have that 5, 6 minutes, then inshallah, go ahead and do what you have to do. Uh, inshallah, wish the best for you. But for those of you who do, I want you to know that there's one big problem I run into as a relationship coach. And this is the situation of people having trauma and people being afraid to show their emotions. You know, a lot of times people nowadays, one of the biggest complaints that I hear is about my wife is not there. She's unemotional or unemotional. Unemotional. Women say, you know, my husband shows absolutely no emotion. And yes, you do have people out here that either they don't care, or you have people out here that they just have no emotion. They don't really feel, they're not really there. They're not really into it. But the overwhelming majority of people, and this is my personal experience, I'm telling you about what I see in my life coaching sessions that I do with some of you. A lot of times I've noticed that the husband and the wife, they both care. They're both in it, 10 toes down. But the issue is that a lot of times you'll have one of them, if not both of them, they've gone through some trauma in their lives. They've gone through certain things where they've been stepped on. They've been taken advantage of. They've been of those people that we say they wear their emotions on their sleeves. And they've gotten their heart broken time after time after time after time after time. So, you know, we find that sometimes it's difficult for them to open up and let that other individual know how they're feeling. And a lot of times it comes out of fear. Some of us, we were brought up in households that, you know, maybe we were taught, listen, you don't be like this. This is not being a real woman, or this is not being a real man. So we were taught not to be like that. Even though for the majority of us, it's our nature to be like this. So we find ourselves fighting a struggle within ourselves. And the point that I want to make here is this: that not everyone's going to be able to open up. It's not something that's easy for everyone. But what I do advise you to do is to make sure that you let the other person know where you're at, if they mean anything, because relationships are hard, especially with the dynamics of what's going on in today's society. People don't know whether they're coming or going. People are being told from every direction, this isn't the way you're supposed to be. This isn't the way you're supposed to be, as men and as women. You can't be like this. Men aren't no good. Women aren't no good. And people are putting so much in our heads so that when we see something from that other individual, we be like, I got you. I knew it was in there somewhere. Society is setting us up to fail. But you know if that other individual is important to you. You know that. You know, okay, well, listen, I don't want to live my life without, I don't want to lose, but I'm afraid. I don't want to live my life without, but I don't know how to do it. Communicate that. This is my biggest piece of advice to you. Tell that person that. Because that person, whether or not they're affected with the same situation, you don't want them looking at you like, listen, you're just cold. You have no emotion. You this, you that. You're not in it. Because if they feel as though you're not in it, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be in it. Especially if they believe that you're just not feeling them. You're just not there for them. You're just not there with them. That they're an option in your life and you don't feel as though they're a necessity. They're not going to stay signed on to something like that for a long time if they don't have any understanding as to why. So sit them down and explain to them. You'll see it makes the world of a difference to let them know, listen, I act like this because I'm afraid. This has happened to me and this has happened to me. Yes, you say, okay, well, listen, this is generally the response I get when I say this. Well, I don't want to be vulnerable. That. If you don't, you may find yourself alone. Would you rather be vulnerable with the person that you love and you trust and you cherish their relationship and cherish them being in your life? Or would you rather taking the chance of losing them because you wanted to keep things to yourselves? If you ask me, it's a no-brainer. Yes, it's a tough decision. But it's one of those things that you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't. And you know what I'm saying is it makes sense. Or you might be one of those people that you were never taught how to be this way. You need to let that other individual know, listen, I don't know how to be. I may have never experienced this before. I may never have seen this before. As a matter of fact, I have feelings inside of me, and I was always taught that these were bad feelings. I shouldn't have this. I shouldn't be this way with an individual. I shouldn't be this way with a man, or I shouldn't be this way with a woman. That if I be this way with a man, it's not me being a real woman. I'm being a pushover. And if I be this way with a woman, then it's not me being a man. I'm being a simp. So yes, I have these. I want to be a, but you have to understand my programming doesn't allow me to do this. I'm trying. But I just want you to know that, listen, I'm in this thing 10 toes down. I'm in it to win it with you. Believe me, that will do wonders, and it does. For many of you, and I'm not even going to say, comment on the video because it's not anybody's business. But those of you who I work with on a regular basis, you know what I'm saying is true. When you find people that are in this situation, you need to let them know as well. As a matter of fact, really, you can simply send them the video. But the thing about it is that there are a lot of things that we suffer from in our relationships, whether we talk about husbands and wives, or whether we talk about the relationship that we have with any of our family members or friends. And a lot of this is because society has programmed us to do things, to think things, to believe things that are nothing but destructive for us, that are going to set us aside and leave us by ourselves. And we can't allow them to do that. When we find someone that wants to be on our team, someone that we know is on our team, they're there for us, we need to do whatever we can do to keep them on our side. Because as adults, maybe as little kids or maybe as teenagers or, running around at tiny boppers and all the rest of that stuff, you think that the world is full of people that want to be on your side. But after you've become an adult, you know that that's rare. It's very rare you're going to find anybody that's going to really listen. I'm in it to win it with you. Most people are in it to win it with you if it fits their conditions, if it fits their needs, if it fits what they want, if it gets them what they want and what they need. And there are not a lot of people out there that are in it for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying in it with you. Because you can find people that are in it with you as long as you're beneficial to them. But it's difficult to find people that are in it for you. And when you find individuals like that, you need to do what you could do to keep them. And if being vulnerable a little bit will keep that person on your side. I did a video not too long ago about, people getting sick. One of the things, we look in our society, we find on the news and all the rest of the stuff, this guy, he did this and he had this, and then he got cancer and his wife left him. Or this woman, she had this and this, that, and the other, and then she did this happen, and her husband decided he didn't want to be around. He left her. They were in it with them, but they weren't in it for them. Like those people that they stick by their husbands and wives regardless, all the way up to and past and beyond on their deathbed. When you find people that are like this, do not let them go. Do what you have to do, even if it causes you to be a little vulnerable. Vulnerable, subhanAllah. Vulnerable. Do what you have to do. Don't let individuals like that go, because it's a good chance you are not going to find anybody like that again. Those type of people nowadays, because of the way that society has been programming us since we were little, those people are very rare. So, again, just to repeat what I said, if you love somebody, if you really love somebody and you really want somebody to be with you, you know that they want to be with you, let them know. Tell them. If you're having a hard time doing what you need to do and there's a reason why, then tell them. Let them know. Listen, look, I'm going through an inner struggle right now. Well, Lord, it's not you. I'm going through an inner struggle right now. I'm trying to work this, but I just need you to know that I'm in it for you. And you'd be surprised what that'll do to you, your life, and your relationship. So again, I ask you, like I always ask you, make sure that you show us support the same way we show you support by trying to bring you these discussions. Show us your support. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you leave your comments below, because actually I'd like to know what all of you think about this particular topic. Because, do you run into people that you see that this is their situation? Because I know I can't be the only one that's running into people like that. So if you run into people like this, or you have any other suggestions for the people that run into these types of problems, listen, leave it in the comment section. I'm not looking to be the only one with a voice, but somebody's got to get these discussions started. So I'll leave it at that. And and don't forget to click on the Patreon link in the description below. جزاكم الله خير وبارك الله فيكم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك وأشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت وأستغفرك وأتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.